Get ready for an exciting story that'll keep you hooked from start to finish. Picture yourself as a tired single mom, carrying your 6-month-old baby onto a late-night flight, just hoping for a quick nap to catch your breath. You settle into your seat, lean against what you think is the plane's window, and drift into the best sleep you've had in forever. But when you wake up in the middle of the flight, your heart skips a beat. Your head's resting on the strong shoulder of a stranger, a soldier in a neat uniform. And the real surprise? Your baby's cozy in his arms, sleeping like she's known him her whole life. This awkward moment turns into a wild adventure full of hidden secrets. Bad guys chasing you through cities, a sweet love story to warm your heart, funny moments to make you laugh, and strange clues that your baby might have special abilities. Can this mom figure out the truth and keep her little girl safe from those who want to use her? Or will the bad guys get their way? Hang on tight, Story Soul Secrets family. This huge tale, inspired by real-life spy stories, mixed with romantic moments, heart-pounding action, and a touch of magic, will keep you glued to your screen, racing to an ending that'll leave you shouting for more in the comments. Hey there, Story Soul Secrets crew. Welcome back to our channel, where we share stories that pull at your heart, get your blood pumping, and make you laugh out loud. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button to join our amazing community. Your support keeps these stories coming. For our loyal fans, you know what to do. Click that like button if this story hook has you excited. Leave a comment about your own strange plane experience. We've all had one. And let us know where you're watching from: sunny Miami, rainy London, bustling Lagos, or somewhere else. Your comments and likes keep this channel going strong. So let's make this video spread like wildfire. Share it with a friend who loves action-packed stories with a sprinkle of romance. Let's jump in. Sofia Morales rushes through Miami International Airport on a hot, muggy night, her arms full with a diaper bag, a laptop case, and her 6-month-old daughter, Luna, who's crying because her teeth are coming in. Sofia's 29, a single mom working hard to juggle her baby and her job. Born in Miami to Cuban parents, she grew up in a lively little Havana home filled with the aromas of rice and beans, crispy plantains, and music from her Grandma Rosa's old radio playing salsa tunes. Her dad was a car mechanic who shared funny stories about his childhood in Havana, and her mom was a nurse who worked late to care for sick people, always humming while she cooked. They taught Sofia to stay tough no matter what challenges came her way. But when she was 16, her parents died in a car accident during a family trip to the Everglades, their car sliding off a wet road in a storm. Rosa, who had left Cuba years ago to escape tough times, took Sofia in, raising her with love and stories about their family, how they were strong and maybe had special talents, like sensing danger before it arrived or calming people with a touch. "You're a fighter, Mija," Rosa always said, her eyes sparkling with pride as they sat on the porch under the Miami stars, sipping sweet coffee. Rosa showed Sofia an old family necklace, a silver chain with a small stone that seemed to shine softly, saying it brought luck and protection to their family. Sofia's life has been a wild ride. In college at Florida International University, she fell deeply in love with Javier, a charming artist with a bright smile who took her on beach picnics at sunset, drawing her face in the sand. They dreamed of a future together, laughing over cheap tacos and late-night chats. But when Sofia got pregnant with Luna, Javier got scared, saying he wasn't ready to be a dad, and left town without a word, leaving Sofia crying alone in her dorm room. The hurt cut deep, and she had to pause college for a few months, working late shifts at a cafe to save for baby things like diapers and a crib. Friends tried to help, bringing her meals or watching Luna, but Sofia felt like the world was against her, especially during sleepless nights with morning sickness. She pushed through, going back to school part-time, studying how to help people around the world, and graduated with a degree in international studies. She got a job at the Global Relief Initiative, or GRI, a group that sends food, medicine, and supplies to places hit by war or disasters. Her job is to make sure everything reaches the right people, handling stacks of paperwork, late-night calls with suppliers from faraway countries, and trips like this one to London for a big meeting about helping refugees. It's hard work, especially as a single mom, but Sofia loves knowing her efforts save lives. Luna, with her dark curls and big, curious eyes, is her whole world. "It's you and me against the world, little one," Sofia whispers, bouncing Luna gently as they wait in the long airport security line. Another mom nearby smiles warmly. "You're doing great, Mama," she says, and Sofia nods, hiding how worn out she feels inside. Luna's always been special, crawling earlier than other babies, giggling at just the right moments, like she understands more than a 6-month-old should. Sofia wonders if Rosa's stories about family talents are true, especially when Luna looks at her with those wise eyes. Last night, Sofia was up until 3 a.m., packing diapers, bottles, teething toys for Luna's sorghums, and her work notes for the London meeting. She feels bad leaving Rosa, who's older now and moves slower, to handle Luna's routine, even for a few days. Rosa promised to tell Luna more family stories about ancestors who could heal cuts with a touch or sense trouble before it happened, like a great aunt who saved her village by feeling a flood coming. "Keep that necklace on, Luna. It's our family's luck," Rosa said, pressing the silver chain into Sofia's hand. The meeting's a big deal about getting aid to people faster, but Sofia dreams of a simpler life. A little house by the beach where she and Luna can build sandcastles and not worry about bills or work. In the security line, Luna's cries get louder, and Sofia gives her a pacifier, thinking of a strange dream she had last week. Luna glowing softly, whispering warnings about danger in a foggy city. It felt so real, like Luna was trying to tell her something, but Sofia brushes it off as stress from late nights at Jirai. She remembers a moment when Luna was a newborn during a stormy night in Miami, and stopped crying the instant Sofia held her close, as if Luna calmed the storm itself. Silly thoughts, Sofia tells herself, but they make her smile. Finally, they board the big airplane, a Boeing 777, and Sofia settles into seat 12, a window spot with a bassinet for Luna. The plane's busy, business people typing on laptops, families chatting about their trips, and one guy in a bright shirt snoring loud enough to wake everyone. Sofia gets Luna comfy, feeds her a bottle, and tucks a soft blanket around her. "Sleep tight, my little moon," she whispers, kissing Luna's forehead. She slips the family necklace around Luna's neck, feeling it warm in her hand, almost like it's alive. Seat 12B is empty, and Sofia hopes it stays that way for extra space to stretch out. But just before the plane doors close, a tall man arrives, Captain James Mitchell, a 34-year-old soldier who does secret military work. His blue uniform is crisp and tidy, and his gray eyes scan the cabin like he's always on the lookout for trouble. James grew up in a small Ohio town where his dad, a Vietnam veteran, shared exciting stories of escaping danger, and his mom, a schoolteacher, baked cookies and read bedtime stories. James joined the Army at 18 to leave home after his parents' divorce, their arguments still ringing in his ears. He worked hard through tough training, went on scary missions in hot deserts, and learned to spot bad guys from far away. But he lost his best friend, Tom, in a bomb explosion in Afghanistan. The blast leaving James with scars on his arm and a heavy heart full of guilt for surviving. He promised to protect good people, carrying a small locket from his mom, who died of cancer 2 years ago, with her picture inside to keep her close. Now he's tracking a group smuggling dangerous technology across countries, tied to shady companies, and is headed to London for a secret meeting, his duffel bag holding important papers and a hidden recorder for his mission. He smiles at Sofia as he stows his bag overhead. "Hope the baby's okay with flying." Sofia laughs a little, feeling a bit less alone in the crowded plane. "She's tough. I'm Sofia, this is Luna." They chat briefly, her job helping people in need, his work he keeps vague, saying only it's army stuff. He mentions he likes kids, from playing with his sister's little ones back in Ohio. Funny moment, Luna throws her pacifier, and it lands with a clink on James's shiny shoe. Whoa, she's got a strong throw. Sofia giggles, picking it up, her fingers brushing his for a second. James laughs, a deep, warm sound that makes Sofia smile despite her tiredness. Future baseball star? Or maybe a soldier like me? As the plane takes off, the engine's roaring and the cabin shaking. Sofia puts in her earbuds with Rosa's favorite salsa music, leans toward the window watching Miami's lights fade below, and falls asleep fast, her head sliding onto James's shoulder without her knowing. James notices but doesn't move, seeing Luna's necklace glow faintly in the dim cabin. His eyes widen, but he thinks it's just the overhead light reflecting. He shifts slightly to make Sofia comfortable, feeling a strange pull, like something big is about to happen. In the middle of the flight, the plane is quiet, just the hum of engines and a little shaking from turbulence. Sofia dreams about Rosa's stories, Family members with special talents, like hands that glowed to heal cuts or eyes that saw what was coming. In her dream, Luna's older, using those abilities to save Sofia from dark shadows chasing them through a foggy city. Luna's tiny hand glowing bright to push the shadows away. The shadows whisper scary things about hidden labs and stolen babies, making Sofia's heart race even in sleep. James stays awake, thinking about his mission to stop tech smugglers, mentally reviewing notes about a company called Genesis Dynamics that's been using aid groups to hide their experiments. When Luna starts to fuss softly, he looks at Sofia's tired face, the worry lines deep even in sleep, and gently picks up Luna from the bassinet, rocking her in his big arms. "Hush, little moon," he says softly, using her name's meaning. Luna stops crying almost instantly, grabs his uniform with her tiny fist, and falls back asleep, her breathing steady. Special hint: when Luna touches his hand, James feels a warm tingle spread up his arm, like a spark of energy, and suddenly a flash of his friend Tom's smile from before the bomb hits him, easing the guilt in his chest for the first time in years. Did Luna do that? He thinks it's just a plane or his tiredness, but her eyes seem to shine for a second in the low light. He whispers to Luna about his old dog in Ohio, how it chased fireflies in the backyard, making her giggle softly, a sound that melts his tough soldier heart. He wonders about the necklace, its faint glow catching his eye again. Hours later, Sofia wakes slowly, feeling something warm and different. She smells a clean, soldier-like cologne and realizes her head's on James's shoulder. "Oh, no," she gasps, sitting up fast, her face turning red as a tomato. Then she sees Luna in his arms, peaceful as can be, and her heart races like crazy. "My baby, how did you—" James hands Luna back carefully, his big hands gentle as he passes her over. "She was crying a bit, and you were sleeping deeply. You both needed a break. She's a sweet kid, fell right asleep." Sofia holds Luna tight, super embarrassed, but grateful, feeling a rush of warmth toward this stranger who helped without asking. "Thanks, but you didn't have to do that. No one's helped like that since Javier left me in the lurch." James looks at her seriously, his gray eyes locking on hers with intensity. "I'm Captain James Mitchell, and you're in trouble, Sofia." Those words hit her like a punch. Sofia stares at him, hoping it's a bad joke to lighten the mood. "Trouble? What kind of trouble?" James looks around the plane, his voice low so no one overhears. There's a guy in seat 14C wearing a dark coat, reading a newspaper like it's the most fascinating thing ever. "He's been watching you since we left Miami. I noticed him right away, the way he keeps glancing your way, pretending he's not." Sofia wants to turn and look, but doesn't, her stomach twisting into knots. "Why would anyone watch me? I'm just a mom going to a work meeting about helping refugees." James leans closer, his breath steady, his voice barely a whisper. "Your job at GRI, sending supplies to Prague, medicine in boxes, right? 3 months ago." She nods, remembering those busy days checking boxes of medicine and radios, pushed by her boss, Mr. Hale, who always said it was urgent for the refugees. Some of those had secret military gadgets hidden inside, like tiny chips or devices. Bad guys used your job to sneak things across countries. I've been tracking them for months. It's a big operation. Sofia feels like the air's been sucked out of the plane, her chest tight. She remembers those shipments, staying late at the office to make sure everything was correct, trusting Mr. Hale's urgency was for good reasons, like saving lives in war zones. Now James's words make her scared, like her whole world is falling apart. "I didn't know anything about that. I just do my job, make sure supplies get to people who need them." "I believe you," James says, his eyes kind and steady, making her feel a tiny bit better. Maybe he's a good guy caught in this mess too. But the bad guys think you know too much, or they're tying up loose ends. And having a baby makes you an easy target. They could use Luna to get to you. Funny moment. Luna grabs James's shiny medal and pulls hard, almost yanking it off his uniform. "She's giving you a new job as babysitter." Sofia tries to joke, her voice shaky but with a small laugh to hide her fear. James smiles, a real one that crinkles his eyes, showing a softer side. "First baby medal I've got. She's got spirit, this one." Special hint: Luna's hand touches James's again, and he feels that warm spark spread, seeing a quick, happy memory of his mom baking cookies in their Ohio kitchen, pushing away the sadness from his friend's death. He shakes it off as plain lights of the moment, but it lingers, making him wonder about Luna. Sofia notices the necklace glowing faintly, thinking it's a trick of her tired eyes. The plane starts to get ready to land in London, the seatbelt sign dinging, and people move around, grabbing bags and stretching. James says quietly, "Trust me, Sofia. When we land, don't go with everyone else to customs. Stay with me, we'll go a different way, through a back door to avoid them." Sofia nods, her mind racing with questions about the shipments, Mr. Hale's odd phone calls, and why her simple life is suddenly like a spy movie. They get off the plane in London's busy Heathrow Airport, with loud announcements in different languages and rolling suitcases bumping everywhere. James leads Sofia through the crowd, his hand gently on her arm, which feels nice but also scary, like a spark of something more than just help. She notices he's always checking over his shoulder for danger, his eyes darting to every corner, and there's a lump under his jacket. Maybe a gun for protection? Funny moment. Luna grabs his tie and yanks it hard, almost pulling him off balance. Top secret tie attack. James laughs, fixing it while Sofia apologizes with a grin. "She's testing if you're tough enough," Sofia says, smiling for the first time since waking up, feeling a tiny bit of ease with James nearby. But then he gets serious, his face hardening like a soldier on alert. The dark coat guys following us keep walking fast, act like we're just chatting. They slip through a door marked staff only, into a quiet hallway away from the main rush of passengers. Sofia's heart pounds as she asks, "Where are we going?" "This feels like we're breaking rules." James says, keeping his voice low, "Somewhere safe. My friend's waiting to help us get out without being seen." They hear footsteps echoing behind, the dark coat guy's close, his shoes clicking fast on the floor. "Run," James says, grabbing Sofia's diaper bag to lighten her load, and they rush to another door at the end of the hall. James swipes a special card to open it, leading them into a small room with computer screens showing airport cameras and maps pinned to the walls. A woman stands up from a desk, Sophie Chin, 32, who used to be a spy for a secret group but quit after her sister died in a strange way, maybe tied to bad companies like the one after Sofia. Sophie's been hunting these companies ever since, her short black hair and sharp eyes making her look ready for a fight, her anger at her sister's death driving her. "Finally, you made it," Sophie says, quickly checking the screens for followers. "Your followers got friends now. 3 more guys just joined him outside the gate, all in dark clothes." Sofia holds Luna tight, breathing hard from the run, her heart pounding like a drum. "This is crazy. Yesterday, I was packing diapers and worrying about my meeting, and now I'm running from bad guys like in a movie." Sophie looks at her kindly but firm, handing her a bottle of water from a cooler. "It's worse than that. They're not just after you, they want Luna too. We have to move now, before they block the exits." Sofia feels like she's been hit hard in the chest, her breath catching. "My baby? Why her? She's only 6 months old and innocent." James says, checking the door for sounds, "We can't talk here. The walls might have ears. Let's get to the car, and I'll explain everything on the way." Special hint, Luna looks up at Sophie with her big eyes, and Sophie suddenly feels a wave of calm wash over her, like Luna's gaze is pushing away the anger about her sister's death. "What was that?" Sophie mutters, shaking her head, confused. Sofia thinks of Rosa's stories about family members with special talents that could soothe hearts or heal pain, wondering if Luna's doing something like that. They sneak out a back door to a black car parked in a hidden spot behind the airport. Sophie jumps in the driver's seat and drives fast through London's early morning streets, dodging taxis and red buses, checking the rearview mirror for tails. Sofia holds Luna in the back seat, her baby's warmth keeping her steady amid the fear and speed. "Tell me everything right now," Sofia says, her voice firm despite her shaking hands. Sophie explains while weaving through traffic there's a company called Genesis Dynamics. They say they study ways to help kids avoid sickness, but really they're trying to make super strong people, faster runners, smarter thinkers, tougher against illness. James adds from the passenger seat, turning to look at Sofia with serious eyes. "They want to make super soldiers for armies or big companies, but it's wrong and against the law. They use groups like GRI to hide their secret stuff in aid boxes, smuggling it to labs around the world." Sophia's shocked, remembering how Mr. Hale and Jirai always rushed the Prague shipments, calling late at night to say it was urgent for refugees. But now it feels like a big lie. They used my job to do bad things? I thought I was helping people. James nods, his face serious but kind. And Luna? She's special to them because of her genes. They've been watching her since she was born, maybe even before. Sophia's confused and angry, hugging Luna closer, feeling her baby's heartbeat against her chest. Luna's just a normal baby. She cries, she eats, she sleeps like any other kid. Sophie pulls over at a red light and shows her papers on a tablet, the screen glowing in the dim car. We found secret messages saying they're watching package Luna coming to London. They've been tracking her since birth, using doctors and tests to monitor her. Sophia feels dizzy, the car spinning in her mind like the shadows in her dream. She's my daughter. I had her at a hospital in Miami with doctors and nurses. Everything was normal. Special twist. The papers show Luna has special genes that make her super smart, learn fast, and fight illness better, like Rosa's stories about ancestors with talents who could heal or sense danger. Sofia remembers Luna's doctor, Dr. Torres, doing extra tests and blood draws, saying it was for health records, but now it feels creepy and suspicious. Sophie says Dr. Torres sent Luna's info to Genesis. She disappeared a month ago. We think they got to her to keep her quiet. Sophia gasps, recalling a weird call from Dr. Torres last week, her voice shaky like she was scared, asking if Luna was okay and saying something about watchers before the line cut off. Suddenly, alarms beep loud on Sophie's phone, the sound piercing the car like a siren. They're tracking Luna with a tiny chip in her body, probably from one of those extra shots of the doctor, Sophie says, speeding up through the light, tires screeching. Funny moment. Luna grabs Sophie's phone with her chubby hand and waves it like a toy, accidentally turning off the alarm with a random poke. She's already a tech, with saving the day. Sophie laughs, even as they swerve around a delivery truck, the tension breaking for a second. Sophia chuckles through her tears, amazed at her baby. They have to run again, pulling into a narrow alley to lose the tail. James jumps out to check, spotting two black cars turning the corner behind them, their headlights cutting through the morning fog. He grabs a motorcycle from the trunk, straps on a helmet, and revs it up loud. I'll draw them away. Meet at the safe house. Sophia calls from the car window, her heart in her throat. James winks, his eyes locking on hers with a promise. For you too, always. Stay sharp. Sophia says to Sophie as they peel out the other way. We're not just running forever. We fight back, we expose these creeps. She feels strong inside, thinking of Rosa's words about family power. Her hand on Luna's necklace that now feels hot to the touch, almost pulsing. They arrive at a new hiding spot, an old brick building that looks empty from the outside, but has secret rooms inside with computers, maps on walls, and hidden supplies like food and blankets. General Patricia Cross, an older woman with gray hair tied back tight, who used to lead big army missions in far-off places, greets them with a firm hug like a tough grandma. Companies like Genesis are the real bad guys hiding behind good causes like helping the poor, she says, her voice steady like a rock, her eyes showing years of fighting battles. Thomas Chun, Sophie's brother, is a cool reporter with earrings and a notebook always handy, who's been fighting Genesis for years after they ruined his big story on corporate lies by threatening his sources. Professor David Sterling, a scientist with messy hair who got fired for not helping Genesis with their weird experiments, sits at a table covered with papers and gadgets. He explains that Luna's genes are natural, not made in a lab, like the magical people in Rosa's stories who could heal small hurts or sense lies. She's a gift, Sophia, but Genesis wants to copy her genes to make money and power, he says, pushing up his glasses. They show Sophia lots of proof, papers with secret codes, photos of hidden labs in dark warehouses, recordings of bad guys talking about harvesting kids like Luna for their experiments. Sophia's scared but mad, thinking about how they used her shipments and now her baby. One recording chills her blood. A voice like Mr. Hale's, her GRI boss, saying, the Morales girl's kid is the key. Get her before she leaves London. Sophia's hands shake, but she clenches them, determined. Then a huge surprise. Thomas gets a call from his newspaper friend saying Sophia's sister, Nina Morales, is at the office with info about Genesis. Sophia's shocked, her mouth open wide. I don't have a sister. Rosa raised me alone after my parents died. But pictures on Thomas's laptop show Nina looks just like Sofia. Same dark hair, same warm smile, same eyes that seem to sparkle with something extra. Nina explains they were split up as babies by Genesis to study their genes in different places, like a cruel science project. When they meet in a safe room, Sofia and Nina hug tight and cry, talking about Rosa songs or warm hugs and her stories about family magic. Nina says foster care was tough, moving from home to home, always feeling different with dreams of glowing lights and warnings about danger. I found old files showing they watched me too, testing my blood without telling anyone, Nina says, her voice breaking as she shows Sofia a scar from a strange test. Love moment. James returns from his decoy ride, scratched up but okay, and stays close to Sofia, making her feel safe. You're so brave for Luna and for yourself, he says softly, their hands brushing, sending sparks through her like electricity. Funny moment, Luna throws a toy car at James, hitting his nose with a loud thunk. She likes you, but she's testing your reflexes. Sofia teases and the whole room laughs, easing the heavy air. They share a quick dinner of sandwiches and tea, where James tells a funny army story about a mission gone wrong with lost boots and muddy water, making Sofia smile and forget the fear for a minute. They make a plan to tell the world about Genesis by going public with all the proof at a big press meeting in a London hotel. Sofia has more dreams that night, lying on a cot with Luna beside her in a quiet safe room, where Luna uses special abilities like making things glow to hide from bad guys or knowing what's coming next, like Rosa's tales coming to life. In one dream, they find a hidden Genesis lab full of kids like Luna, crying in cages under bright lights, and Sofia vows to save them all, her heart aching like it's breaking. She wakes sweating, hugging Luna close, the necklace warm against her skin, almost humming. The plan is risky. Genesis might send more bad guys to stop them, so they add extra safety, like fake names, secret paths through the city, and backup phones to call for help. Love grows. James and Sofia talk late at night in a quiet room under a single lamp, sharing stories of their tough pasts. Sofia tells him about Javier's betrayal, how it broke her trust in people and left her scared to love again. James shares losing his friend Tom in the bomb, how it made him question if he could keep anyone safe. You're not alone anymore, he says, leaning close, his hand on hers, warm and steady. They almost kiss, their breaths mixing in the dim light, but Luna babbles from her crib, making them pull back with soft laughs. Bad timing, kiddo, James jokes, ruffling Luna's hair, and Sofia feels her heart open a little. They discover Luna's chip is sending signals to Genesis, picking up stronger as they move through London, like a beacon. Sterling sets up a small medical corner in the safe house, using tools to remove the chip safely in a tense scene with beeping machines and bright lights. Luna's necklace glows bright during the process, calming everyone, and the tiny cut heals fast without a scar. Magic in action. Sofia cries with relief, holding Luna tight as the team cheers, amazed. They decide to raid a Genesis lab in a dark warehouse by the river, sneaking past guards with flashlights, finding files on other kids stolen for experiments. Sofia decodes GRI logs on a dusty computer, uncovering a global network of labs in Europe, Asia, and South America, with Mr. Hale's name all over it. He's been a double agent for Genesis, betraying Sofia's trust. A heart-pounding chase through London's crowded markets adds suspense. Bad guys in dark coats pushing through people selling flowers and fish. James pulling Sofia and Luna into narrow alleys while Luna's cries warn of danger ahead, like she senses the bad guys before they appear. Romance blooms more. James and Sofia share a secret picnic in a safe house garden hidden behind high walls, laughing over spilled juice and stealing quick kisses under the stars, James promising, "When this is over, I'll take you and Luna to a real beach, no running, just sand and waves." Sofia blushes, feeling hope for the first time in years, her heart racing not just from danger. The team faces a betrayal when Thomas's newspaper contact turns out to be a Genesis spy, leading to a fight in the rain-slick streets of London. Sophie tackling the traitor in a muddy alley while Nina uses her smarts to hack a locked door to escape. Luna's powers grow in the chaos. Her touch heals a cut on James's hand during the scuffle, the wound closing like magic. Sofia finds a file with her name, revealing Genesis targeted her pregnancy from the start, Dr. Torres working for them to plant the chip in Luna during a routine checkup. They knew about Luna before she was born, Sofia whispers, horrified, clutching Luna tighter. Another twist. Nina reveals she's been having dreams like Sofia's, seeing glowing lights and kids in danger, suggesting their family's talents run deeper than they thought, maybe tied to the necklace Rosa gave them. They find a hidden note in the necklace's clasp, written in Rosa's handwriting. The stone holds our power, protect it. Sofia's mind spins. Did Rosa know about Genesis? More suspense comes with a high-speed chase through London's underground tunnels, the team escaping in a stolen van while bad guys shoot for motorcycles, bullets pinging off the metal. Funny moment, Luna drops her bottle, rolling under the seat, and Thomas dives to grab it, banging his head and cursing comically, making Sofia laugh despite the danger. They hide in a new safe house, an old church with creaky pews, where Sterling finds more files showing Genesis is experimenting on kids in foster homes, like Nina, to find others with special genes. Sofia's anger grows. She won't let Luna or any kid suffer. James teaches Sofia to use a radio to contact allies, their hands touching as he shows her, sparking more feelings. They share a quiet moment watching Luna sleep, James saying she's lucky to have you as a mom, and Sofia's heart swells, seeing a future with him. The big day arrives, a huge press conference in a packed London hotel, reporters with cameras flashing, police waiting outside for safety. Sofia steps up to a microphone, nervous but strong, holding Luna, who charms everyone with babbles and big smiles. She tells her story, how Genesis used her job, targeted her baby, and hid their crimes. Nina shows proof from foster records and stolen files. Sterling explains Luna's genes in simple words like natural superpowers, and Thomas plays videos of Genesis labs with crying kids in cages, the images shocking the crowd. Reporters shout questions, phones buzzing as the news spreads worldwide. Genesis leaders are arrested live on TV, handcuffed as the crowd gasps. But during the chaos, a bad guy in a suit tries to grab Luna from Sofia's arms, his eyes wild. James tackles him, punches flying in a tense fight, and Luna's touch calms the attacker, making him drop his knife and cry, collapsing. Magic saving the day. Sofia holds Luna tight, whispering, "You're my hero, little moon," tears in her eyes. 6 months later, Sofia, Nina, James, now her boyfriend, talking about a ring someday, and Luna live happily in Barcelona, near the sea with waves crashing gently. Luna's abilities grow stronger. She moves toys without touching them, makes flowers bloom faster in their garden, and heals a scraped knee on a neighbor kid who fell off a bike. They start a group to help other kids and families hurt by Genesis, sharing stories and fighting for justice in courts across Europe. Sofia wears the family necklace daily, now glowing brighter around Luna, like it's alive with their family's magic. Life feels normal but special, with James teaching Luna to throw balls with her mind, laughing as they float in the air. Sofia and Nina reconnect, cooking Rosa's old recipes and laughing over childhood memories, feeling like a family again. But one sunny afternoon in a Barcelona park, as Luna plays on the swings giggling, a shadowy figure watches from behind a tree, whispering into a phone. She's not the only one. More kids are waking up with powers like hers. We need to find them before she does, or the whole plan falls apart. The figure slips away into the crowd, leaving Sofia with a sudden chill down her spine, like Luna's necklace is warning her. She pulls Luna close, looking around, wondering if the danger is really over or if a bigger fight is coming. What other kids are out there with gifts? And who's pulling the strings now? The adventure feels far from done. Story Soul Secrets, what's your favorite part? The love, action, or Luna's special abilities? Drop it in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and share. Where are you watching from? Let's make this go viral.